What is going on, guys? It is the Bump Boys. We are back with another video doing a Smackdown review. You got yourself, you're truly Mr. Underscore Women's 95, aka King William, and the Bump Boys prediction champion. And we have Danny, Dirty Dan. Say
What's up? What's up, Will? Missed you a lot. Missed you on Wednesday. Too busy watching those Celtics.
Facts, man. Watching them get that dub and then losing today. And then we got Joe, aka Joey the Dream.
What's up, guys? So, I'm going to jump right on into this SmackDown review. Decent SmackDown, I will say, overall, but let's jump right on into it. We did get a qualifier match between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre for the Money in the Bank ladder match. This match did end in a double disqualification, so no contest. What did you guys think of this match?
I'm really happy they brought back Money in the Bank qualifiers. I think
yes,
instead of just giving people random opportunities just to be in the match. I think this should be a great idea, and I always liked having qualifiers, especially for Money in the Bank. And I thought it was a really good match. I kind of saw it coming because they've been booking Sheamus strong lately.
Very strong. And I think, this was a perfect ending for them, putting a little question marks on like what happens when they both get counted out or DQ'd. So at least it's not Sheamus and New Day. It's Sheamus and Drew, which, is always a fun, hard-hitting match.
Yep.
Well, do you have any comments on this one?
I thought this is what wrestling is all about. This is kind of what WWE used to do good. You gave these two big blokes, Chelly Hoes, or what do you want to call them? Mates. I know it's Australian, but you let these two, former WWE champions go at it. So you didn't know who was going to win versus the Xia Li and whatever her name is.
Lacey Evans.
You already knew was our next Money in the Bank qualifier match.
Yeah, I know. Let me make that point, though. Drew versus Sheamus, I thought was an amazing opening match. It kind of felt like a fresher breath air from the standpoint of like they just let these two dudes wrestle almost 20 minutes, let them go back and forth. You didn't know who's going to win. And then to do the disqualification, it kind of allows you to extend the storyline, but actually make it interesting. Like, all right, we got to run this back. So it's actually story to running something back. And it was nice seeing how they did after the disqualification. They brawled outside the arena, and then they got separated. But it wasn't the classic, let's have everyone from backstage separate one and one separate the other. Sheamus ran to the fans while Drew stayed and was held back, which, I don't know. To me, it was a breath of fresh air. It felt like some old school shit, 07, 09 kind of shit. And it just felt well planned out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I thought it was great. And I thought they did a really good job in this match. Joe, what do you think?
Oh, I already said this is it was a well executed match. It was unpredictable, or I think it was leaning more towards Drew, but I could also see Sheamus squeaking out a win. The person I thought was easily squeaking out a win was our next person, Lacey Evans versus Xia Li.
No, she
Money in the
buried
Bank qualifier match. This match was a decent match. I thought Lacey looked strong, but I will say, her finish with the woman's right off the rope, that was clean. I thought it looked good. Lacey looked good in this match. I think that was a big takeaway.
Give me a big star. Big star.
The next Lita 2.0, looking like.
That's all I can think about. I think tonight was a good night for women's wrestling too, because we also had Ronda versus Shotzi right after this, and Shotzi always seems like she can be good and stuff like that, but I think put the work on.
Honestly, this Ronda reign, perfect so far.
I don't know about that, though.
Dude,
she's getting carried.
I think it's her better range.
She's getting carried by NXT stars, though.
But she's wrestling, though. She's actually wrestling.
She's actually wrestling.
But to me, it just
when you don't have your
carried by NXT, would you say this is better?
Yeah, this is better because she's getting carried by former NXT stars who were put in those star roles in NXT, who delivered, who didn't get called up when they should have been called up. So now they come up and we see Raquel Rodriguez. She carried Ronda and made Ronda look amazing throughout those first two matches. Then we have Shotzi making Ronda look good. And isn't it weird that Ronda can hold her own against Charlotte Flair and whoop her ass. But when it comes to these come up NXT stars, she's kind of struggling to fight them. Now, don't get me wrong. I like that you're letting them wrestle and you're letting them show what they can do, but it's not the time, I feel like, to do it against the champion. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 50-50. I'm on the board. I like some of it, but it's also like, come on, she's our women's champion and it's taking former NXT, main event stars in NXT to have to carry her through these matches. Come on now.
Yeah.
I think it's a way for them to put a restart on the women's division for SmackDown, especially with the whole division of the women's division. No one's getting squashed. Charlotte has a problem or a issue with squashing people and making them seem dominant. But even on Raw, all the matches seem one-sided, 50-50 booking. Anyone has a chance, and I think this is a way for them to build their women's division to make stars rather than having them fed to Charlotte while Charlotte's out for a bit. So I think this is like a reset for them, and then having Ronda compete often and Bianca's involved and stuff like that. I think you have a good week in, week out move for all the women to get some airtime and showcase what they got. And speaking of people showing what they got, Gunther versus Ricochet. Gunther got something real nice today, guys. Gunther secured the Intercontinental Championship against Ricochet. And
that ugly ass belt, man.
Dude, I hate that
shit
belt.
Is ugly as fuck, man. That shit is ugly as fuck. Bring back the white one. Gunther, take that shit, throw it in the trash, do a promo, cut a promo, bring back that white Intercontinental title.
Oh yeah, bring back the white one.
Especially with AEW bringing out that international shit. That title looks fire. And with us coming out with our title, WWE, step your game up, dogs. That title look garbage. The US title looks amazing. And you give us this ugly ass Intercontinental title.
Honestly,
is this the 1940s? Wait, are we wrestling in the wait, Danny? Let me speak, Danny. Are we wrestling in the 1940s? That belt looks old as fuck. Take that shit, throw it in the trash, send it back to Germany, and bring us back that beautiful white belt. Cody leaves for the injury, and he brings back in that beautiful white Intercontinental
I know
title.
Cody said when he wins the world title, he wants to bring back the one-winged eagle belt. The nice one.
I could see that. I could see that. That would look nice on Cody.
Before, instead of talking about the belt, let's talk about the match. What did you guys think of the match?
Honestly, really great match. I think it was the shining moment for Gunther. What they've been building for weeks. Gunther's finally got his
Gunther. Say it with a little more your chest, boy. Gunther. There you go.
I think
some spec on that man's name.
I think Gunther is showing why he is the main champion of SmackDown. I know the Tribal Chief hasn't been there, and he's going to be back next week. We'll get into that later on. But still, especially with Roman on this Brock Lesnar schedule, the dude hasn't... next week's going to be the first time he's defended his title since WrestleMania.
Yep, but don't worry about that. But I'm asking about Gunther and Ricochet. That's what I want to talk about. Stay on top,
he made him
guys.
fly, especially one of those chops where he just made him fly.
I'm going to be honest.
Took a beating.
Yeah, I missed a lot of this match because of the Celtics game. So I think there was a cool part where I think Ricochet went to do like a jump in the air, and then Gunther caught him and then hit him with a chop, and I was just like, okay, Gunther. And then I saw him with the. I ain't gonna lie. I like him. I like when he hits that shot. I like Gunther's reign. I just think the belt's ugly as shit. And
dude, he has not lost since the main roster. That's who you book, a monster.
Mm-hmm. So you probably book it and don't fuck up his name and add Bearcat to that shit.
But congratulations to Gunther for winning his first main roster title, and a person who may become the new WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion could possibly be Riddle after he defeated Sami Zayn in the main event. If Sami were to win this match, Riddle would have been basically banned or exiled from SmackDown. Riddle wins. He wins a championship match. He had Paul Heyman hyping him up. Danny, what do you think about this match?
I really think they should have had Sami win, and then I think it would have been better storyline with Riddle barred from SmackDown and him sneaking on the show. Mm-hmm. I think it would have been for a better storyline instead of just straight title match.
Yeah, with this match, I thought it was a little... it was a good match, but then I felt like the ending was, playing to the fans too much. Riddle's been on a tear. I think it would have been great to, continue the Sami Zayn storyline, especially with the Kevin Owens part. They don't really care about you, as he's going for the RKO or something like that. But the Usos come in, super kick, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn wins technically, so Riddle's banned, and basically they pick him up and like, you did it, man, and then it's like he's part of the blood. But now because they did that, since they got rid of Riddle, now they have Sami they got to deal with. I thought that would have been a perfect thing, just more storylines, more
I think
things.
it would have been a better
Come back.
I think they're telling a story right now. So we get to see, this is how you build a star. This is how you build a star. Riddle is on a tear. He's white hot. The fans love him, bro. The chants in the arena. And you kind of play back to when Riddle, remember, Roman didn't really get his hands on Riddle like that. He only got his hands on Randy when they had that brawl. And then the week before that, Riddle got the sneak shot in on that. So it's just building this big star. I think WWE is doing a good job on this. This is how you build it.
He's going to lose to Roman, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, you play to the fans you want people to tune in, because I'm hoping Randy comes out and goes to maybe save Riddle, but then he RKOs him or some shit like that. But then again, you also had.
They're not going to do that. I heard Randy's going. There's Randy's rumored to face Roman at SummerSlam.
Okay. Touche. But even with the Sami Zayn thing, you get to continue that whole storyline of like, all right, you did something once for us, but then you're taking another step back. By then, you also couldn't beat Riddle. But then also you have Paul Heyman. That's kind of like, if you kept like the commentary was like, he kept saying like, cover him, and then like Sami wasn't doing what he was saying, and you could see the face on Paul. So it's almost like this. The outsider who's trying to, live up to the people who he's trying to be around, and he can do some things good, but he can't do some things. He does some things bad. So I thought this was beautiful storytelling. I think you're building a huge star in Riddle, and dude, the people love him, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, I've turned a big fan. I used to hate Riddle in NXT. I was like, man, this UFC jabroni. He is arguably one of the best. He is the best probably right now. I can't think of anyone else besides, even better than Ronda. He is the best former mixed martial arts competitor who started off in that sport, moving to WWE.
He's nasty.
I think he's the best he's going along the route of he's going to become the best to go from that sport to WWE.
Oh yeah, and he will be the one to retire Brock Lesnar when his time's come.
And think about you have to build him if you want a match like that.
And he will pass it on, and he will be. I think that's what will eventually be his big crowning moment.
But overall, I think SmackDown put on a decent show. It moved it along. Danny, what is your rating for tonight?
I'd say 8.5. I think they had a really good build.
Go, Danny. I
said 8.5.
You finish what you were saying. You're explaining.
Yeah, I thought it was good, like cohesive. Like the crowd was good. Even like the matches had good flows. I think the backstage segments were decent. So yeah, really decent show. Maybe like 8, maybe 8 3/4.
I give this an 8.9. I thought like commentating was good. I thought the show was so good that they didn't do the WWE shit where they crammed a bunch of shit in 2 hours. They had to take shit off the show that they were supposed to do this week. Like they were supposed to do some sort of Baron Corbin and Madcap, but they moved it to next week to do the match. They moved the Max Dupree segment. That's going to get moved to next match because they let the wrestlers wrestle. They told a story. Shout out one thing. It may compete with it, but that opening match of Sheamus versus Drew was I didn't like the opening with the whole Butch and like Sheamus being right there, kind of like threw off the whole. I don't like seeing that backstage shit. That's supposed to be taboo. We ain't supposed to see that kind of shit. But seeing the that match, it almost compete. It wasn't quite there yet, but it was very close to beating out Adam Cole versus Christian for one of the best opening matches to a wrestling show. But shout out to Drew, shout out to Sheamus. They were exchanging each other's finishers. It felt like a pay-per-view match on a main card, which I liked.
Honestly, I don't want. I am happy. I'm happy Drew didn't win that because Drew winning the money and being in that ladder match would have been too obvious.
Yeah,
because I don't want him to be Mr. Money in the Bank because he could easily win the title either way without being Mr. Money in the Bank. Yeah. It's supposed to be for building a star.
Yeah, definitely.
And for me, I'm going to have to give this show. I want to say a solid 8.8. I'm going to give it 8.8. the fact that we don't have to deal with the New Day for a week is kind of refreshing.
Honestly,
Sheamus had probably one of the better matches of the night, and I think overall, we got to see wrestling this week on SmackDown. It was a lot of wrestling, a lot of good wrestling moments in the ring, and overall, I was happy with the product they gave us. So, any last closing statements you guys want to make?
I do. I think congratulations to Cody and Seth for putting on. The rating came out for like a 5-star match. They got a 5-star from the ratings.
Man, that shit was ass. Let's end the show. It's been my boys. Peace.
Must bid you adieu, goodbye, mwah, and good night. Oh my God, it's so great. Bang!